Let's move into Saturday, 3 p.m. We're kicking off from Mount Smart Stadium. You've got the Warriors taking on the Dolphins. And you know what, Baxter? I've always said let's take Magic Round to New Zealand. Given that you can't get fined for jumping the fence unless you take your clothes off, it's probably not going to go to New Zealand anytime soon unless they do change that law. But, God, it was great to watch. It was an absolute spectacle of a game last week. We thought the Warriors equalized late. They didn't. It got pulled off. Whether it would have got to him or not, it was a stupid pulling of the shirt right at the end. They ended up copying that loss against the Broncos, but they are in front of their home crowd again. They are at Mount Smart. You've got Chance, Nickel Clogstack, Dallin, Watine Zalesniak, Rocco Berry, Adam Pompey, Marcelo Montoya, Luke Metcalf, Sean Johnson, Adam Fanua-Blake, Wade Egan, Bunty Afoa, Jackson Ford, Murata Nakora, Tohu Harris, Dylan Walker, Josh Curran, Mitchell Barnett, and Bailey Sirenen rounding out the bench, with Tom Ale in the 18th, Tan Tuapiki, Dimitri Sifikula, and Ronald Vogtman, with Ali L in the extended bench. So Baxter, again, a side that has had minor changes here or there over the last couple of weeks. They would have been, let's be honest, very disappointed with that loss against the Broncos, who did have a few stars out. But there were some positives to take away from that game. They attacked well. They had the cause against them, and they were still able to stay into the fight. I think it was within 10 minutes to go, they needed to score 2 or 3 tries. And if it wasn't for a silly jersey pull, which I don't think made too much of a difference, Sean Johnson's converting from the sideline with a chance to win the game. So what do you make of this Warriors side? What do you make of them so far? And before we move into the Dolphins, don't give your predictions, but talk about the Warriors.
Yeah, look, the Warriors have exceeded expectations, I think, from 99% of the NRL pundits and fans alike. We all have the Warriors in that bottom 4 position on the ladder. But Andrew Webster, the ex-assistant coach from Penrith, now the head coach of the Warriors, has really turned this club around, and they're playing some terrific. They're playing some terrific football, some exciting football, and hopefully, being at home, they can build on this and grab the 2 points from here.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, Webster deserves a lot of credit. I'm surprised you didn't throw in your Webster joke that you do throw in there every week, but we'll let that one slide a little bit. But it has been exciting. It has been exciting to watch.
I got approached, and look, I can't make that joke anymore. So that's it. It is what it is. And if you want to watch my jokes, got to watch the old videos.
But nonetheless, obviously, it has been exciting to watch the Warriors play. They have been riddled with injuries this year, so hopefully we can see that they start to keep this 1 to 13, even that bench. They start to keep consistent. They start to see what they can do moving forward, because when fully fit, plus the signings they have coming in next year, this is a year where they can set the foundations. They can say, we are a top 8 side. We're going to build on this from next season, and we're going to move forward. So I think if you're a Warriors fan, it's very exciting time moving forward. And if you can keep playing how you're playing, you're probably going to have an extended stay in the top 8 come September and finals football. But Baxter, over to you. Talk to me about probably the surprise packet of the year. So the 2 surprise packets, but it's Wayne's Dolphins. Talk to me about them.
Yeah, you got Cody Nikorima in the fullback role with Jermaine Asako and Tessie New in the wing position, Ewan Aiken and Brenko Lee in the centers pairing, Anthony Milford, Isaiah Katoa in the halves, Jesse Bromwich, Herman Sasa in the prop role, Jerry Marshall King in the hooker position, Kenneth Bromwich and Connolly Lemu in the second row, Ray Stone to make the lock position, Jared Wallace, March Nichols, not Mark, Mason Telegi, and VTW to round out the bench with Harrison Graham to make the 18th jersey, Max Plath, PF, Kurt Donahue, and Oliver Gillott in to round out the extended bench. And wow, this team looks stronger and stronger each and every week, especially with the missing man in the 7, Nathan Cleary 2.0, that is Sean O'Sullivan, missing from the squad. But imagine when he comes back into this team, how much I reckon they'll go up another level.
Yeah, it's a side that They have looked good this year. I just look at that list. Obviously, Asako, he's probably in a side that has all new signings, being a new squad. Asako's probably been the signing of the season. I'm pretty sure he's leading the top points. He's close to the top try scorer. He's scoring tries for fun. He's kicking goals for fun. He's really starting to control his team and help them stay in games, help them win games. Milford, he's come in with the injury to O'Sullivan. He's done a job. Katoa, he's young, but he's starting to show that experience that we saw when Sam Walker came into the NRL. We saw when Lachlan Ilias came into the NRL. These young kids, they're starting to play games with so much confidence at such a young age that it's almost time where Wayne Bennett goes, you've got the keys to the city, mate. This is your team for the next 4 or 5 years. We're going to build around you. We trust you. We back you. Let's see what we can do. So I'm excited to see what happens with, obviously, Katoa. I look at Jeremy Marshall-King. He was laughed at. He was told he's kidding himself when he said he wanted to be a top 5 hooker. And let's be completely honest, if it was tomorrow the World Cup final, he's starting for New Zealand in that World Cup final. He started in the number 9 position. Even if Brandon Smith was fully fit, he's not getting past Jeremy Marshall-King. So he's playing brilliant. The likes of that Kenneth Bromwich, Ray Stone, Jared Wallace, Mark Nichols, if they can keep their head on, not get suspended, not buy into stupid shit, they have a strong side and they will be playing finals football. But Baxter, before we ramble on way too much about this side, we do have 2 cracking sides in the Warriors and the Dolphins going head-to-head. Both have surprised us. Both have probably exceeded expectations, and we're only in round 14. So what do you make of this game? Is it going to be a close one? Does someone blow someone out? Who have you got winning this one?
I've got them down the Dolphins, and I've got them 13 plus. Usually I'm a 1 to 12 man, and maybe the odd occasional 13 plus, but back-to-back tips have gone 13 plus.
I reckon it's like a message. I've put the number 14 for round 14 on the board, and you just feel like it's above 13. So I'm going to say 13 plus for everything. But again, I'm not ruling the Dolphins out. I always get egg on my face when I rule the Dolphins out. But I do think this is going to be a lot closer. It is at Mount Smart. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff, so it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a full stadium. I think that makes it. Is it 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. in New Zealand at the exact time of kickoff here? 3 p.m. in Sydney. Can you double check that for me while I talk about this? But
I think it will be. Was it 5? Yeah, 5 p.m. But maybe 6. I'm not too sure.
No, well, it's 11:20 now in New Zealand, so it'll be 5 p.m. on kickoff. It's Saturday afternoon. They've probably been on the beers for a few hours. They're going to be going absolutely mental at Mount Smart Stadium, and that's the way you want to see it. So I'm going to side with the Warriors. I'm going with the home side. I'm going 1 to 12. I think they get the job done, especially after the disappointment of last week. But don't sleep on the Dolphins because I think it's going to be about a 1 to 4, and it could flip either way. But I'm going to side with the home team, Baxter. Let's move into Saturday, 3 p.m. We're kicking off from Mount Smart Stadium. You've got the Warriors taking on the Dolphins. And you know what, Baxter? I've always said let's take Magic Round to New Zealand. Given that you can't get fined for jumping the fence unless you take your clothes off, it's probably not going to go to New Zealand anytime soon unless they do change that law. But, God, it was great to watch. It was an absolute spectacle of a game last week. We thought the Warriors equalized late. They didn't. It got pulled off. Whether it would have got to them or not, it was a stupid pulling of the shirt right at the end. They ended up copying that loss against the Broncos, but they are in front of their home crowd again. They are at Mount Smart. You've got Chance, Nickel Clogstack, Dallin, Wateen-Zalesniak, Rocco Berry, Adam Pompey, Marcelo Montoya, Luke Metcalf, Sean Johnson, Adam Vanilla-Blake, Wade Egan, Bunty Afoa, Jackson Ford, Marata Nakora, Tohu Harris, Dylan Walker, Josh Curran, Mitchell Barnett, and Bailey Sirenen rounding out the bench, with Tom Ale in the 18th, Tan Tuapiki,